So we talk about integration of communication within the organization. Okay, we said communication happens within the organization whether it is managed or not, and we defined communication integration as it's a cross-functional process. So it's not just one specific function in the organization that's responsible for it, and it's very strategic, okay, where we build relationships with our stakeholders. Very important. And we'll look at a video clip or two just to explain what that means. And it's influencing and controlling those messages, and it's all about engaging or participating in a very purposeful dialogue. Dialogue, when you see the word dialogue, it means a two-way flow of communication. Okay, communication is about giving and receiving. So, last time we've done these things. We looked at different reasons why integration is important. We also looked at the concept of market orientation. Market orientation, we said, is where the organization is taking the needs of their customers or clients into consideration. Okay, very important that that is the starting point of the decision-making process. Okay. Any questions? Any questions on what we've done? Today we're going to look further at what does integration of communication within the organization mean, and we're going to look at these three main things. It's the alignment of your messages, the 5 junctures or locations of integration. We're going to look at different strategies of integration, and then we're also going to look at corporate identity and how that works in the organization. Okay. So these three things are very important when we talk about the integration of communication in the organization. Okay. So let's look at page 44. Page 44. Okay. Page 44. Sorry, go to page 43 at the very bottom. Okay. So this is exactly what we're looking at today. Page 43 at the bottom says, 3 specific areas of communication must be considered when undertaking programs for the integration of an organization's communication. And then they identify these 3 things. They say it's the alignment of messages we need to look at. We need to look at the locations where these integrations are happening, and we look at the strategies of integration. So we can almost say it is the what, the where, and the how. Okay. So basically we're looking at what do we need to integrate, okay? Where can we integrate it, and how are we going to integrate it? Okay. It's when we look at alignment of messages, they identify those 4, and these 4 we looked at last time. We've got planned messages, we've got unplanned messages, we've got service messages, and we've got product messages. Can you remember that? On page 44 there we've got them. We've got planned messages, usually very traditional communication, maybe printed, part of your PR, sponsorship, marketing, sales promotion. It's anything that we plan and we are control of when we deliver the message. Product messages, we said, is anything that relates to the product. Okay. So it's what the product looks like, what the product costs, how we design the product, how can you buy the product, where can you buy the product. Okay. Service messages is all about the service of the product. So for example, when you buy a vacuum cleaner, usually you'll get a 2-year guarantee or a 2-year warranty. So any time when that product breaks, you can take it back to the supplier and they will help you to fix it either free of charge, or they'll replace it, or whatever. Who can tell me who had really bad experience with after-sales service. A specific product where maybe you bought, you weren't happy with it, you took it back, and they didn't want to replace it or exchange it for you. Yes, Leo?
I took my BlackBerry in for repairs and they gave me back a new one, and it was a refurbished one basically, and it had just as many problems as the first one.
Yes. So, were you happy with that service? No.
I said to them, with my first BlackBerry I got it for £27 for repairs.
Yo. Okay. Anybody else had a very good experience? Nobody had a good experience. Yes.
My BlackBerry had a problem. I took it in. They gave me a proper new one.
Very good. Well done. Okay, so we see that these service levels are really important when we talk about how the organization communicates about products or services. Yes? Okay. And then your unplanned messages are often out of your control. So it's, for example, what the media says about you, what people on the street say about your product or your organization. So very much out of our control, but when these other areas of messages are good, then it should reflect in these unplanned messages as well. Okay. That is, we looked at already the alignment of messages. So this is the messages that we should be integrating into the organization.